Good morning everyone. Today we are going to be discussing about the what is actually the positive and normative economics. What is a positive economics and what is a normative economics. In the previous session we have been discussed what is actually the microeconomics and macroeconomics, what are its nature and scope. So everything we have been discussed here. So now let us discuss what is actually the positive and normative economics here. So let us discuss what is the positive economics. What is actually the positive economics. So here that the according to J.M. Keynes, according to J.M. Keynes, according to J.M. Keynes, according to J.M. Keynes, a positive science may be defined. A positive science may be defined as a body of systematized knowledge concerning what it is. Concerning what it is. A positive science is a positive science may be defined as, according to J.M. Keynes, a positive science. A positive science may be defined as defined as a body of systematized knowledge, as a body of systematized knowledge. Positive science may be defined as a body of systematized knowledge concerning what it is. So here positive science. So positive economics. According to the J.M. Keynes, he defined it as a, so a positive science may be defined as a body of systematized knowledge concerning what it is. Systematized knowledge in the sense what here, the step by step how we are going to be proving here. So that is nothing but we are calling it as a what it is. Actually, what is the economics? Here, so here the classical school economists, the classical in the sense what I said, old, at the time of 17th 18th century, people are called it as a classical economists here. So here the classical economists were of the opinion, the classical economists have an opinion that economics is purely a positive science here. Economics is a purely a positive science. Science in the sense what here, we must need to prove as a experimentally. So science means what here? Anything which can be proved in the form of an experimentally. Anything which can be proved in the form of an experimentally by the step by step is called it as an what here? Science. Positive science we are saying. So here the positive science which had no right to comment. So they are saying of what here, the classical economists. They are going to be arguing of what here. So economics is a purely science. They are saying it as an what here? Economics is a purely science which had, economics is a purely science which had no right to comment, to comment upon the rightness or wrongness. No comment upon the rightness or wrongness of economic policy, any economic policy, whether it is a right or wrong. So nobody is going to be having the right to comment on that particular policies they are going to be saying here. So further, economists cannot give a final judgment here. So the further after they are going to be saying furtherly they have not defined so what judgment they have not given a proper judgment on this particular matters here, whether it is a positive or not here. So Robbins regard the economics. Robbins in the sense what here? Lionel Robbins. So further the economists cannot give. So further the Robbins regarded economics as a pure science here. Economics is a pure science. P-U-R, not a positive. Pure science. So Robbins is going to be saying of what here it is a pure science of what it is, of what it is. Economics is what actually it is. So here what it is not concerned with the what concerned with the moral question here. What it is a moral question. It is one of the what it is means what here it is a moral question or not here. Anything by saying what it is we are going to be asking. So that's what we are calling. It is a what it is here. He opinions that the function of economics, the function of economics, Robinson is going to be regarded economics that the function of economics consists of the exploration and not advocating and condemning here. It is an explorating means one can giving his judgment. So not it is in the form of an explorating and it is in the form of an condemning here. So the manufacture of sale of cigarettes, the manufacturing and sale of cigarettes and wine may be injurious to health, as we may be knowing cigarettes, tobacco, these all will be cigarettes, tobacco and wine will be manufacturing and also selling of these things will be also injurious for the health of the people, as we may be knowing here. But and therefore morally unjustifiable. It is a morally unjustifiable. Can anybody is going to be stopping of selling of this particular wine or manufacturing of wine, cigarettes, all this here? No. Here. So here but the economics has no right to pass the judgment on this here. Economics is not going to be having the no right to pass the judgment on these particular things, since both satisfying the human wants, because so most number of the people are going to be habituated of drinking of wine, smoking of cigarettes, and alcohol. So this all we are going to be tobacco, using of tobacco. Can we stop them here? We are going to be restricting them to stop, but they will become the habituated. They will become the habituated. Because of their habituation they are unable to stop of that particular habits here. So here no right is going to be saying the other, so you need not to use of such a thing here. So it is of his own wish. He can use or he cannot be stop. He can be stopped here. It is of his own wish. Nobody is going to be having the right to stop of that particular thing here. So that's what Robinson has been argued here. So but the economist has no right to pass the judgment on this here, since both satisfying the human wants. Because the people who want to drink wine, he's going to be, by drinking the wine he's going to be satisfying of his particular wants here to involve the economic activity here. So that the Friedman also considered the economics of Friedman, F-R-I-E-D, F-R-I-E-D-M-A-N, Friedman. Friedman also considered the economics as a positive science, like any other natural science. It is a positive science. How it is positive science? We are saying like any other science. Science in the sense chemistry, the physics, how it is going to be science. It is also same like a positive science they are going to be saying here. So it explains the what actually happens and not what ought to be happen here. So actually positive science what actually it is going to be happen and what not ought to be happen, it is going to be explaining. That's what they are going to be saying it as, and it is a positive economics here. So then some other will be saying it as a normative economics. Normative economics. So what is actually the normative economics here? So according to J.N. Keynes only, according to J.N. Keynes, according to J.N. Keynes, what is actually the normative economics? So according to the J.N. Keynes, normative economics may be defined as a body of systematized knowledge. Normative economics is also called it as a body of systematized knowledge relating to the object what ought to be. What ought to be. It is so it is a what it is. It is of what he is saying what it is. So what ought to be. What results is going to be getting. So what ought to be in the sense what here, what results we are going to be getting here. So here and concentrated what ideal as distinguished from the actual one here. Ideal one. It had been distinguished from the actual one to ideal one. So really what it is going to be happen and actually what is going to be happen in ideally what may be happen. He had been defined here. So here the historical school of Germany has introduced this in this particular economics here. The historical school of Germany has been introduced of normative economics here. So as normative science, economics is concerned with the evaluating of economic events. Evaluating means what here? Evaluating the economics events from the ethical viewpoint. Ethical, so what we are going to call our old generation people. So because if you have done, so the result may be like this, they are going to be saying here. So some of the slogans they are going to be saying, no, వాళ్ళు పాతకాలపు మూఢ నమ్మకాలు అనొచ్చు, బట్ మనం ఇప్పుడు మూఢ నమ్మకాలు అంటున్నాం. వాళ్ళు ఏం చెప్తారు, అలా చేయకూడదు, అది తప్పు, ఇలా చేయకూడదు, ఇలా ఇది తప్పు, ఇట్లా అయితే మంచి జరగదు, ఇట్లాంటివి చెప్తుంటారు కదా. సో లైక్ దట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ ఇట్ యాజ్ అ నార్మటివ్ సైన్స్ హియర్. సో ఏ నార్మటివ్ సైన్స్ ఎకనామిక్స్ ఈస్ కన్సర్న్ విత్ ద ఎవాల్యుయేటింగ్ ద ఎకనామిక్స్ ఈవెంట్స్ ఫ్రమ్ ద ఎథికల్ వ్యూ పాయింట్. అంటే పూర్వకాలంలో ఇలా జరిగింది కాబట్టి ఈ విధంగా అయింది. సో అట్లాంటివి. సో హియర్ మార్షల్ పిగో హ్యావ్ట్రే మార్షల్ పిగో హ్యావ్ట్రే మార్షల్ పిగో హ్యావ్ట్రే Marshall, Pico, Havre, Fraser. Marshall, Pico, Havre and Fraser. So Marshall, Pico, Havre and Fraser, and concluding the economics argues that the economics is a social science. Economics is a social science which involves value judgment. Involving the value judgment. It is not an objective science here. It is not in the form of an objective science. So every human being behavior is not same at one particular point of time here. It depends on the person or depends on the situation. It is going to be vary here. So that's what they said of what here. So it involves on the value judgment on not on the objective science like a natural science here. It is not like in the form of a natural science here. So here, if we are going to be cutting off all the trees, we have been destroyed the forestry. So there is no rainfall will be there here. So it is a natural science. But here, if we are going to be saying in real life, will it be the same thing here? So the science, it is a natural science. Economics is a natural science. No, it may be depend here. It may be depending upon the situation here. Economics is concerned with the human welfare. Economics is going to be concerned with the human welfare, and it is going to be involves the ethical considerations. Ethical considerations. It is not enough to economist. It is not enough to economist to explain and analyze the economic problems. ఇవే వస్తాయి అని చెప్పలేము కదా. So he has to offer the solutions for this particular problem here. So the problems will arise, they will be saying. So we must need to also find the solutions for that particular problems here. So that's what we are calling it as, and it is a normative science here. So the conclusions of positive economics and relatively normative problems does not what ought to be and what it is. Though positive economics is free from value judgment. Positive economics is going to be free from value judgment. Normative economics cannot be interdependent on the positive economics here. Normative economics cannot be interdependent on the positive economics. Therefore, economics is not an positive economics but also the normative science here. Positive, it is not only the positive science. Economics is not only the positive science and also but also it is a normative science they are going to be calling here. So with this, what is actually the positive science we have got and what is actually the normative science we have been learned. So now let us learn about what are the basic concepts of economics. What are the basic concepts which are involved in the economics? Basic concepts of economics. Basic concepts of economics. What are the basic concepts of economics here? So here the basic concepts of economics involve, first and the foremost thing is the goods. The first and foremost basic concept of economics is the goods here. What is actually the goods. In economics, all things that have the value and so in economics, in our economics, all thing, anything, all things in the sense what here, anything which have value, which is going to be having a value and satisfying the human wants, satisfying the human wants are called it as an goods here. So in economics, this means what here, in economics, in economics, all things that have value, all things that have value in economics, all things that have value and satisfying human wants are called, and satisfying satisfying human wants are called, human wants are called, human wants are called goods. So in economics, what we are calling goods means what here, in our economics, all things means anything which have a value and which are going to be satisfying the human wants is called as nothing but what here, goods. So the goods are classified into material goods and non-material goods. The goods can be classified into two types: material goods and non-material goods. Goods are classified into goods are classified into the goods can be classified into two types: material goods, two types. One is of material goods, non-material goods. Material goods, non-material goods. Mainly the goods are classified into two categories: material goods and also the non-material goods here. So let us learn what is actually the material goods and non-material goods. So material goods are tangible one. Material goods are, these are tangible. Tangible in the sense what here, which we can touch and feel here, or by taking of those things or by using of those particular things, we are going to be having the feeling, we have been used of that particular goods here. So here material goods are the tangible, these can be seen, these goods, tangible goods in the sense what here, the goods which we can see and which we can touch, and which we can also transfer to others, For example, we can take it as a water, books, pens, cell phones, etc. Examples what we can take, water, books, pens, cell phones, etc. These all we can take it as an examples for the tangible goods which we can touch, మనం వాటిని వాడగలుగుతున్నాము. టాంజిబుల్ గూడ్స్ అంటే ఏంటి, మనం వాటిని చూడొచ్చు, కంటికి కనిపిస్తాయి, వాటిని వాడుకోవచ్చు, ముట్టుకోవచ్చు, వేరే వాళ్ళకి ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ కూడా చేయొచ్చు. అలాంటి గూడ్స్ని ఏమంటున్నాం మనము, టాంజిబుల్ గూడ్స్ అని అంటున్నాము. సో హియర్ దట్ ద మెటీరియల్ గూడ్స్ ఆర్ టాంజిబుల్ ఇన్ నేచర్, దీస్ కెన్ బి సీన్, కళ్ళకి కనిపిస్తాయి, వాటిని మనం ముట్టుకోవడానికి సాధ్యమవుతాయి. So which we can touch, which we can see, which we can transfer to others is called it as in what here, material goods. So some of the examples we can take it of what is here, examples of water, books, pens, cell phones, dusters, anything we can take it as an example here. So this all will be coming under the tangible, etc. will come under the tangible goods, that is called it as in what here, material goods here. So here on the other hand, what is actually the non-material goods here? What is actually the non-material goods? Non-material goods are called it as a what here, intangible goods. These are intangible. The intangible goods are called as and what here? Non-material goods. Intangible means what here? These do not possess any shape. ఇంటాంజిబుల్ గూడ్స్ అంటే మనం టచ్ చేయలేము, చూడలేము. అంటే ఏంటి? ఎనీ షేప్ కానీ దీస్ డు నాట్ పొజెస్ ఎనీ షేప్ ఆర్ వెయిట్ అండ్ కెనాట్ బి సీన్. మనం చూడలేము వాటిని, వాటికి ఒక వెయిట్ అనేది ఉండదు, ఒక షేప్ అనేది ఉండదు. అట్లాంటి వాటిని ఏమంటున్నాము? నాన్ మెటీరియల్ గూడ్స్, ఇంటాంజిబుల్ గూడ్స్. దీస్ గూడ్స్ పొజెస్ ఎనీ షేప్ ఆర్ వెయిట్ ఆర్ ఇట్ కెనాట్ బి సీన్ అండ్ ఇట్ కెనాట్ బి టచ్ అండ్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్. మనం టచ్ చేయలేము, వాటిని ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ కూడా చేయలేము. అట్లాంటి వస్తువులు ఏమంటున్నాము? నాన్ మెటీరియల్ గూడ్స్, ఇంటాంజిబుల్ గూడ్స్ అని అంటున్నాము. ఆల్ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ సర్వీసెస్ ఆర్ నాన్ మెటీరియల్ గూడ్స్. సో వాట్ ఇస్ ద ఎగ్జాంపుల్ వి కెన్ టేక్ హియర్? ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఆల్ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ సర్వీసెస్. సర్వీసెస్ ఏంటి? కనిపిస్తుందా? మనం వాటిని ముట్టుకోగలుగుతున్నాము సర్వీసెస్ని? ఆల్ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ సర్వీసెస్. We are getting only feeling of that particular service, but we cannot touch and feel of such a, so we cannot touch of such particular services here. So all types of services can be categorized under the intangible goods here. So all types of services will be treated under the non-material goods, such as services of teachers, doctors, engineers, lawyers, actors, etc. These all will be coming under the intangible goods here. So material goods are further divided into non-economic and economic goods. Material goods, again it has been divided into two categories. Material goods can be categorized into two categories, that is of economic goods, non-economic goods. It has been divided into two categories: economic goods, non-economic goods. The material goods, again it has been categorized into two types. The material goods, again it has been categorized into two types. One is of economic goods, that the other one is called it as a non-economic goods here. So let us know. So here non-economic goods in the sense what here? Free goods. Non-economic goods in the sense what here? Free goods. Non-economic goods means free goods. Free in the sense free goods. Free goods in the sense what here? Without paying anything, free of cost we are going to be getting such a goods is called it as and what here? Free goods. ఏది కూడా అంటే ఏ డబ్బు కానీ ఏది చెల్లించకుండా మనకి ఉచితంగా, అంటే ఉచితంగా వచ్చే వస్తువులు ఏమంటున్నాం మనము ఇక్కడ? నాన్ ఎకనామిక్ గూడ్స్, ఫ్రీ గూడ్స్ అని అంటున్నాము. అవేంటి? నాన్ ఎకనామిక్ గూడ్స్. అంటే సపోజ్ టేక్ ద ఎగ్జాంపుల్. వాట్ ఆర్ ద ఎగ్జాంపుల్ వీ కెన్ టేక్? లైట్, వాటర్, సన్షైన్. ఇవన్నీ కూడా మనకి ఏంటి? ప్రకృతి పరంగా ఏవైతే మనకి వస్తున్నాయో, మనం ఏమి పే చేయకుండా ప్రకృతి పరంగా మనకు వచ్చే వాటిని అన్నిటినీ కూడా మనం ఏమంటున్నాము? నాన్ ఎకనామిక్ గూడ్స్, ఫ్రీ గూడ్స్ అని అంటున్నాము. అంటే ఏంటి? మనకి గాలి వస్తుంది, గాలిని కొనుక్కుంటున్నామా? కొనుక్కోవట్లేదు. తర్వాత వాటర్ కూడా ఏంటి? వర్షాలు పడుతున్నాయి కదా, వర్షాలు పడడం వల్ల వస్తున్నాయి. మనము ఏది సివరేజ్ ట్యాంక్స్ పట్టడం అది వేరే, isn't it? So here what will be arising? Air, water, sunshine, వెలుతురు, గాలి, ఇవన్నీ కూడా ఎక్కడి నుంచి మనకి ఫ్రీ ఆఫ్ కాస్ట్ లోనే వస్తున్నాయి కదా, మనం ఏమైనా డబ్బులు పే చేస్తున్నాం దానికి చేయట్లేదు. సో సచ్ గూడ్స్ ఆర్ కాల్డ్ ఇట్ యాజ్ అండ్ వాట్ హియర్? ఫ్రీ గూడ్స్. Free goods are also called it as and what here? Non-economic goods here. Free goods also called it as and what here? Non-economic goods here. So let us discuss what is actually the free goods here. What is actually a free goods? What is actually the free goods? Free goods is also called it as a non-economic goods. Free goods also called it as a non-economic goods. Free goods is also called it as in what here? Non-economic goods. Goods which are freely supplied by the nature. Goods which are freely supplied by the nature. Goods which are freely supplied by the nature. Non-economic goods means what here? Goods which are freely supplied by the nature without price are known as free goods. Without price are known as free goods. So now, what is called it as a free goods? Free goods means free goods is also called it as a non-economic goods. Free goods is also known as non-economic goods. Goods which are freely supplied by the nature, without price are known as free goods. Without price are known as free goods. So the supply of these goods is always abundant. The supply of these goods always abundantly greater than the demand for them, greater than the demand, and therefore do not have any price. Free goods, what will be happen here? Always the supply of these particular free goods, is always abundantly greater than. Abundantly means what here? More than the requirement. Abundant means what here? More than the requirement. It is going to be available in the nature. More than the requirement. Suppose we are going to be needed. How much we are going to be needed? More than that, it is going to be available in the nature. So that's what we are calling. So it is available more abundantly. It is going to be available abundantly. So greater than their particular demand. How much we are going to require? More than that, it is going to be available in the nature. Therefore, they do not have any price. 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 We need not to pay any price for those particular goods here. We need not to pay any price for that particular goods here. So can we paying any price for the air, water, sunshine, all these things? No here. So that's what here we are calling it as, and what always it is going to be available abundantly in the greater than the its demand. There is no price for that particular goods is called it as, and free goods here. So here, but the free goods possess the only value in use. Free goods possess only value in use. It possess only value in use. Without the air, we cannot live. Without the water, we cannot live. No, without the sunshine, we cannot live. So like that here. So it is going to be having the value in use. So value in use. Without using of that, we cannot live here. So but that's what we are saying. The goods will be, the free goods are going to be having the value in use. But no exchange value. Exchange value. It had exchange value. Can you exchange the air? Can you exchange the water? So here there is no exchange. Can you exchange the sunshine? No here. There is no exchange value. It had the value in use, but not the exchange value here. But not the exchange value of this goods. Nowadays, sometimes it becomes the economic goods. Sometimes it becomes so the free goods will become also economic goods. Why? What is the example we can take? Because so the water deficiency. Because of the water deficiency, and there is no purified water. What we are doing? We are going to be purchasing the water as a mineral water. We are going to be purchasing the mineral water or not. So we are going to be paying the price for that particular mineral water. That is called it as in what here? Economic goods are not here. Yes. So sometimes it may becomes the economic goods. The free goods will become sometimes it may becomes the economic goods here. Economic goods due to several reasons here. Due to some of the reasons here, and those goods are priced here. Those goods will become a price. We are paying the price. We are going to be purchasing the mineral water here. We are going to purchase the mineral water as it is a free good, but it will be sometimes because of some of the reasons it will become an economic good here. So thus the concept of free goods is relative to place the time sand near the rivers to free goods, but it is economic goods in the own here. So if it will be in the seas and rivers, it will become the free good. So once it has been bought and sold, so it will become the economic good here. It will become the economic good we are going to be finding here. So now we haven't learned what is actually the free good. So now let us learn about what is actually the economic goods. Economic goods. So now we have learned, till now we have learned what is actually the free goods. So now let us learn about what is the economic goods here. So an economic goods is a physical object. An economic good is a physical object. And economic good is a physical object. Physical object. Object in which we can touch it. No, it is going to be consisting of some of the shape, some weight it is going to be consisting. We are going to be paying the price for this physical object which we can touch and feel. So these all. So here an economic good is a physical object. We are calling it as a what here? Economic good is a physical object, natural or it may be the man-made one here. Natural one, naturally we may be getting, or it will be the man-made one. మనంతటి మనము తయారు చేసినవైనా కావచ్చు. ఏ వస్తువైనా ఏంటి మనం తయారు చేసిందైనా కావచ్చు, లేదంటే నేచర్లో ప్రకృతి పరంగా తయారయ్యే ఉన్నదైనా కావచ్చు. సో an economic good is a physical object, natural or man-made, either it may be in the form of a naturally made one or the man-made. Human beings they themselves is going to be manufacturing of such a goods here. So here man-made, service rendered that can be commanding the price in a market here. Service rendered that can be commanded in the price in the market here. So they also fall short. They are also going to be falling short for their particular demand. Always మనకు అవసరమైన దానికంటే తక్కువే ఉంటాయి ఈ మార్కెట్లో. ఎప్పుడైనా కూడా డిమాండ్ అంటే ఏంటి మనకు అవసరమైంది. సో డిమాండ్ మనకు ఎంతైతే అవసరం ఉందో దానికంటే కూడా ఎప్పుడు తక్కువగానే ఉంటాయి. అర్థమవుతుందా? సో దే ఫాల్ షార్ట్ ఫర్ ద డిమాండ్ ఫర్ దెమ్. ఎంతైతే అవసరం ఉందో దానికంటే తక్కువగానే ఉంటాయి. సో దీస్ ఎకనామిక్ గూడ్స్ హ్యావ్ బోత్ వాల్యూ ఇన్ యూజ్, వాల్యూ ఇన్ ఎక్స్చేంజ్. These goods have both value in use and value in exchange. Value in use and value in exchange. These goods have a both value in use and value in exchange. We ourselves will be using also, it is going to be having the value. When we are going to be exchanging to the others also, it is going to be having the value here. That's what we are saying, value in use and value in exchange. Suppose you had a pen. If you are going to be writing, you are going to be using of that particular pen. When you are going to be giving to your friend some other requirements, pen, so you are going to be giving your friend or some other person, they will be also using the value in exchange or not here. So for that, sometimes when you are going to be requiring, he is also going to be offering something for you or not here. So that's what we are calling. So value in use and value in exchange here. So like such as pens or books. Example, what we can take pens, books, computer, etc. We can take it as an examples for this particular economic good. Books, we are paying the price, we are purchasing, we are going to be using, and it may be transferred to some other. They are also going to be using here. So that's what we are saying, value in use and value in exchange. Example, what we can take, books, pens, computers, etc. We can take it as an examples for these things here. So here economic goods possess the three important characteristics. Economic goods is going to be possessing the three important characteristics. What are those three important characteristics? Utility. Utility in the sense what here? Usefulness. Utility in the sense what here? Usefulness here. And the second one, scarcity. Scarcity means what here? Less of availability. Scarcity in the sense what here? Less of availability. And the third one, transferability. We can exchange to some other person here. These are the three characteristics. Three important characteristics will be owning by the economic goods here. One is utility. Utility in the sense what here? Usefulness. And the second one is what here? Scarcity. Scarcity means what here? Less of availability than the requirement. And the third one is what here? Transferability. Transferability means it can be exchanged to some other person here. And economic goods are also divided into three types here. Economic goods also divided into mainly three types: consumer goods, producer goods, and the intermediate goods. Economic goods are divided into three types. Economic goods are divided into three types: Consumer goods, producer goods, intermediate goods. Consumer goods. One is of consumer goods. Second one is of producer goods. Second one is called producer goods, and the third one is called intermediary goods. Third one is called intermediary goods. Economics goods can be mainly classified into three categories, that is of consumer goods, producer goods, and the intermediary goods.